We're about ready to start the national anthem. We are at Warwick High School in Newport News. We're about ready to start the national anthem. All right, always great to start off with the national anthem.
Absolutely. Great show of respect for the country that we love, and we are here at Warwick High School, my friend, ready to get to this action.
Calling it round two.
And welcome to
We had Denby and Woodside, of course.
Tonight, Warwick High School.
And, of course, the public address announcer will take it away.
Warwick High School's athletic department would like to remind everyone about good sportsmanship. As a member of the Virginia High School League, we are committed to upholding the highest standards of good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship is a key element to any athletic contest, and everyone's conduct during the game can add to the enjoyment and positive atmosphere. Please show your appreciation by exhibiting good sportsmanship, and now I'm going to introduce tonight's starters from Heritage. Coming out first, number 3.
Starting lineup right now going on from the public address announcer.
Jenny Golovin. Number 10, Shamora Martin. Number 14, Annalisa Goodman. And finally, number 22, Trinity Hart. And now our lady.
And for Heritage to encore that, Barnes, Deloach, Goodman, Martin, and Carter. The music is glaring. The drama here at Warwick High School tonight.
Good luck and have fun.
All right, Warwick, Gravette, Randall, Singh, Gravette, and Bryant. Warwick girls won the first meeting, but that doesn't mean nothing tonight.
Right. It's a new game. It's a new start. And you mentioned Gravette. Gravette has got to be one of the key players tonight for the Lady Raiders, coming into tonight's game, averaging over 14 points per contest. It's going to be interesting. You know, they want to come out here, defend home court. But the Lady Hurricanes, of course, want to come out here and make a big difference.
Greg Pickabear's, Nate Milton, our entire Channel 47 crew. They're adding a little movie drama music here tonight.
It's setting the
scene. It looks like they're scoring our sound.
I'm telling you, from the national anthem to the public address, it's like we're setting the scene tonight for the drama that's about to unfold.
And there she is, Lanika Talon, Heritage girls basketball coach, wife of Mike Talon. Heritage girls in the gray. And they make the first shot. What are the keys, first of all, for Heritage?
I think the keys for Heritage is just what we saw right there. You know, they got to come out here and establish some offensive flow up front. And they really got to get keyed on their defense and disrupt the Lady Raiders, like we're seeing right now. Interrupt what they want to do.
And for Warwick, needs to get off to a good start, too.
Yeah, Warwick's got to, come out here and establish the tone of tonight's game. Warwick's got to come out here, know that they're home, know that they've got the crowd behind them, and really come out here and focus on the things that they need to do to get this win.
We're live on Cox Cable 47, 517, NNPSTV.com. at Warwick High School in Newport News. Girls basketball first. Glad you're with us. Unseasonably warm weather in February.
I'm telling you, Greg, Virginia weather, the old adage, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute, it'll change. We've seen, in the last 2 weeks, we've had 20-degree weather, 30-degree weather, some days 50 or 60-degree weather. That's how it is here in Virginia.
Warwick likes the motion offense. Heritage counting off with the aggressive ball pressure defense. And out there for Heritage is number 4, Deloach, number 14, Goodman, number 10, respectively, Martin, number 23 is Carter for Heritage, and number 3 is Barnes. For Warwick, number 12 is Randall with the ball. Out to number 22, Lauren Gravett. Out to her sister, Erin Gravett. Also, number 50 is out there, Bryant. And number 24, Singh. So, just underway. They play 8-minute quarters in the Virginia High School League. Hope you enjoyed our game between Denby and Woodside, the boys, most recently. Glad you're with us. Always added value when you have girls and boys both.
I'm telling you, nothing like a doubleheader. This week we've got, the girls in action, center stage, taking things out over here. But the thing is, they've really got to come out here and establish their presence if you're the Heritage Hurricanes on offense.
Shot selection, attack the glass, transition, play your opponent, play your game as well through the opponent, focus and intensity.
And, of course, you also want to have the ball possession, that ball control. You want to limit those turnovers because mistakes can cost you. The bench is going to be key. Can they provide a supporting role? Energy, conditioning, you want to stay hydrated and fresh so you can come out here and play the entire game.
Warwick in the white, Heritage in the gray. Glad you're with us. Our entire crew with you. As we said, the best crew in Virginia. At Greg Bick on Twitter.
At number 8, MOZAIK. At Nate Mosaic.
Heritage is up 2-0. Very low-scoring game so far. Warwick has yet to score. They beat Heritage the first time they played. And the Hurricanes connect again.
Nice pressure defense by the Lady Hurricanes right there. Forced the turnover, and then Carter was able to take advantage and go in for the score.
And the Hurricanes are up 4-0. The Heritage girls like the motion offense. They like the aggressive ball pressure defense. The strength of Heritage is the size and athleticism, as you see the Warwick bench right there. The weakness for Heritage is the youth, according to Coach Talon. The officials tonight, Mark Brown, David Gary, Kelly Miles. For Warwick, see Vanessa Starks. Her son also played football for the Raiders. Motion offense, matchup zone. They like the 2-3 Syracuse bump defense. Strength is the guard play for Warwick. And the weakness is the loss of Lisa Vandover. Bob Worthington is their big-name pass coach for Warwick. Big-name pass coach for Michael Gardner is the former Heritage women's coach, also the former Heritage boys coach, now the AD, who won a state championship.
Absolutely. And you talk about kind of that tradition and what these young women want to live up to, what they want to aspire to, and it's on both sides of the court.
Warwick still trying to get their feet from underneath them. 4-0, 5:40 left in the first quarter. And, of course, the big-name player from Heritage, as you know, Nate, in the past, who went to NC State, Bonet Holston. For Warwick, who went to Old Dominion, LaQuanda Younger.
Absolutely. Bonet Holston, was a great player for 4 years at NC State. Now still works in the community, helping out the kids, working at the Juvenile Detention Center, trying to mold young men and women, get them on the right path. She was a great player. You talk about LaQuanda Younger, what she brought to the table, one of my favorite players that we've had the privilege to call over the years here with these young women on the court. So, again, role models for all of these young women on the court to aspire to, players like a Bonet Holston, players like a LaQuanda Younger. We'll see who can be the next player to step up.
1 quarter at a time, focus on the basketball and the eyes of the opponent. So much you can look from the eyes of the opponent.
Yeah, and it's about realizing what the moment is. And a lot of times we've seen, Greg, over the years when we come out here with the lights and the camera and the action and the focus that we give these young people, some players are able to rise to the occasion. Some players might get a little nervous, start to get a little shaky. So we'll see if the added attention, if the added pressure of being live out here, will that affect either one of these teams tonight?
Glad you're with us at dinner time right now, Newport News and throughout the globe. On nnpstv.com, you can watch it on your phone on the homepage. Cox Cable 47, 517. 5:20 left in quarter number 1, respectively. Greg Bick of Harris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Outside jumper's up, and it's way off. And, of course, you have to move without the ball, crash the boards, be aggressive, inside, outside play, mix it up. Focus on this game, no distractions.
Yeah, and you talk about the Warwick Lady Raiders and the loss of Vandiver. That was a big loss because that's 14 points guaranteed every game that she brought to the table. And so it's going to be up to Lauren Gravett to lead this team right now. I think she's got to be the one to step up into the moment and seize this opportunity. And folks, we are bringing this to you live, bringing you this action, and these young people are stepping up tonight.
From everywhere.
Everywhere. All around the globe you can watch this. Through the magic, through the wonder, through the technology that we have now. You can watch it on your phone, folks.
Absolutely. 4:51 left in quarter number 1. 4-1 in favor of the Canes. Again, Warwick in the white at home. Coached by Vanessa Starks. Almost 20 years she's been here. Unbelievable stability. Gravett off. And Warwick still trying to find their feet. They're, like Nate said, you're trying to get your kinks off early, and it's showing for both teams.
Yeah, and I think Heritage is doing a really good job right now of denying Lauren Gravett the ball. On that last series, we saw her sister trying to find an open player, but she wasn't able to do it.
Jenny Nuttycombe, the AD here at Warwick, and Mike Gardner at Heritage, respectively. Nice hardwood floor. Warwick in the white uniforms. Outside jumper, it's up, and it's good. Warwick needed that by Lauren Gravett.
And that's what they were waiting on all night, Greg. That's what they've trying to been set up. You want to run Gravett off of some screens, get her an open look, and she's going to knock it down more times than not.
Nice to have your sister on the team, huh?
Yeah, and I think,
not yours personally.
There's something when you're playing with a sibling that you have an unspoken bond and you communicate on the court that we've seen from Lauren and Aaron so many times this season.
Of course, Lanika's husband, Mike Talon's the coach of Woodside. He took a time off last year to help her out, and now he's back. He missed it so much he came back.
Yeah.
Which I like. You want that continuity.
And again, both Coach Talons care so much about these young men and women that they have the opportunity to mold. So it's good to see Mike Talon back in the game.
Of course, when we do the games, we get all 5 teams here in a matter of 3 games. Great scheduling as usual. Greg Bick of Harris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. At Greg Bick on Twitter.
Of course, at in the number 8 MOZAIK.
At Sports Highlight. Tell your friends we're live right now. All the Warwick alumni and the Heritage alumni, too.
I'm telling you, folks, from coast to coast, check us out online, on your phone, on your tablet. We are there.
Making it a total team effort, all-inclusive, good attitude, no lone wolf. Listen to your coaches.
Yeah, I think that's very important, Greg. You talk about that team play. It's not hero ball. It's not lone wolf ball. It's a team. The pack is what will get you the victory, and that's what we want to see from both of these teams.
It's great what Houston is doing, but there's no way you're going to win a championship like that.
I mean, it's great. James Harden, a fantastic player, MVP candidate, but that's not how you're going to beat the Golden State Warriors. And, of course, folks, you cannot forget, you got to rotate players. You got to keep them fresh. And there we see a great shot of the sidelines right there.
Coach Starks.
Coach Starks, the legendary Coach Starks, been here for many years with the Lady Raiders. But again, you want to rotate your players, keep them fresh. the desire, the fire and desire for all 40 minutes, my friend. You want to avoid foul trouble early, and you want to stay in the game. Don't allow yourself to get behind. And I'm sure that's what Coach Starks is instilling to these young women right now.
We've been doing games since the 91-92 season. Rising Juniors, if you're interested in TV production, this is the place. Call Telecom for more information or schedule a tour, 591-4687, extension 0. Of course, our alumni are all over the TV and multimedia world. Some go into different careers, but what they learn from telecom is invaluable.
Exactly. What you learn from that foundation, whether it's production, whether it's setting up a schedule, making appointments with people, those are skills that are transferable to all areas of life.
Nice shot there by number 14, respectively, Goodman.
Annalisa Goodman, the muscle inside for the Lady Hurricanes, did a great job with that last play.
And great shot by Singh, and she was singing a long way.
Sing a song, sing a song. This is a great song by Earth, Wind & Fire back in the day, my friend. But, yeah, that's what Warwick's been looking for all night. Just they want to run players off of a screen and get them in that corner for that open look.
6-all, just like that. We're tied up with 2:08 left in the first quarter. As we always say, high school basketball goes quick, only 32 minutes, as opposed to high school football, which is 48.
Yep, and right there we see again, back and forth they're going. They're exchanging blows like a heavyweight fight.
And they're getting their concentration back and momentum, but you have to make shots for your confidence and, continuity.
Yeah, I think, the early going, the early opening minutes of this game, we saw a little bit of the nerves, a little bit of the jitters, Maybe it's being on live TV, maybe it's, transitioning from that school mentality to now it's game time, now it's serious. So it's good to see both of these teams in the fight right now.
Of course, we mentioned Lonnie Starks, the son of Coach Starks for Warwick. Living in the Delaware area now, doing very well. One sister throws to the other, and she connects. And that was Aaron Gravett.
It's a family affair out here tonight, folks.
5-on-5.
See if Heritage will hold for the last shot here, Greg.
Still plenty of time, no shot clock. Do you think they need a shot clock in high school ball?
It's an interesting discussion. There we see a traveling violation on the Lady Hurricanes. But, yeah, it's an interesting discussion, because it's easy to kind of fall into that Dean Smith four corners when you don't have a shot clock. But at the same time, I think I like it for the high school game and leave the shot clock for the collegiate and pro games. Wow. Going up amongst the tall trees right there. Carter did a great job off the dribble, scoring another bucket for the Lady Hurricanes.
10-8. Hurricanes.
Aaron Gravett getting a little creative there. Unfortunately, that bucket did not go. Got hung up underneath the basket. But she's going to have some time here at the charity stripe. I think both teams are really settling into what they want to do now, Greg. We're seeing Heritage, they're playing an inside-out game, whereas Warwick, they're looking for those long-distance bombs off the screen.
Absolutely. 10-all. Nip and tuck so far. Anybody's ball game. It's still early. Heritage going right to left in the gray uniforms. And the official calls turnover. Again, the officials respectively, Mark Brown, David Gary, Kelly Miles. I like the fact they got three officials.
Yeah, keep an eye on everything. Unlike the officiating crew in the recent NFC Championship game with the Saints and the Rams.
We also lost a great musician recently, too, Nate. You know him, James Ingram. Of course, he was part of Ray Charles' band as well. I know how much you like music, and he was very close to Debbie Allen.
James Ingram, so many great songs. Had a bit of a career revival after the movie The 40-Year-Old Virgin, which featured his song, Yamo Be There.
Yep, so may his memory be eternal. Get a little music to start the game off.
Absolutely.
And 12-10, Heritage holds on to a 2-point lead in the first quarter. We got 3 quarters left. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News. We are live tonight. Stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
Into a problem, hear the one right answer, that mistakes are learning experiences and present an opportunity to be creative and flexible. The arts encourage persistence and dedication. They require sustained concentration, personal reflection involving critical analysis, and self-adjustment to reach desired goals. These are essential 21st century skills. Skills recognized as important to productive career and citizen success. Each student deserves and benefits from an arts-rich education.
All right, back here at Warwick High School in Newport News. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, our entire crew. Great job by the guys in the truck and the gals. And, of course, our great student crew. We'll get to them in the fourth quarter as well for both games as well, respectively. Great hardwood floor. A lot of great memories here in sports at Warwick High School.
Both teams focused on getting the job done. We'll see, Greg. Will Warwick be able to defend the home court and be able to send Heritage packing?
You don't want to let your guard down for sure, no pun intended.
Absolutely not.
You've got to stay focused for 32 minutes. Sing! Sing that song, Nate.
I'll tell you, Annalisa Goodman, you talking about songs, pulling old Ray Charles, told her to hit the road, Jack.
Ray Charles was the best.
So many great.
And the thing is, just like a head football coach, you mentioned, Belichick having his assistants.
Yeah.
Musicians have their guys that were in the band, as you see the cheerleaders, that they keep the spirit alive.
Yeah. And well, it's that apprenticeship, where we see like somebody like a Bootsy Collins who learned from a James Brown, and then, he's able to teach somebody else. So mentors and having people you look up to and role models is important, whether you're talking sports or music.
Usually have that one head guy, and then they have their assistants, and they venture on their own.
Yep. And the thing about somebody like a Ray Charles or James Brown is they were perfectionists. They wanted to make sure their sound sounded exactly the way they wanted to.
Here is Aaron Gravett, number 30, in Warwick, in the white uniforms. And another violation there. You have to watch those turnovers, Nate.
Turnovers are one of the worst things in any sport, because you lose possessions, but you also stymie your momentum. You lose the steam that you were building up. And so that's something that I'm sure the Lady Raiders want to eliminate and cut down on.
We're in quarter number 2. It's 12-10. Heritage with the ball. Coached by Lanika Talon, who went to Woodside. And a miss right there by number 14. That was Goodman.
Yeah, and Annalisa Goodman, she's going to have that shot all day just because she has such a great height advantage, but she's got to knock those down when those opportunities present themselves.
Walk with the ball on their home court. They need to get a string of succession going on and try to boost their confidence up a little bit. But you have to come to a good start here in the second quarter. Try to get the crowd involved. We've got a pretty good crowd here tonight.
Yeah.
Move without the ball. 32 minutes. Focus on the task at hand. Keep in mind your goals. Just don't want to go one and done. Shoot it. You want to get some rebounds. You've been working since the fall for this moment. You're going to forget quickly if you miss a shot and move on. Get the fans in the game.
Yeah. Especially, that's part of the advantage of having home court. You want to get your crowd riled up so you can feed off of that energy.
Outside jumper off. But you didn't see no rebound for it, though.
Yeah, and Goodman's got to fight her way into the post. With that size and that physicality, she's got to be an interior presence for the Lady Raiders.
5:40 left to intermission.
And you see Lauren Gravett really trying to work hard against the screen, but loses the ball.
And the layup is off. You got to make those layups.
You can't waste those opportunities, Greg. When you have a fast break like that, when you get a change of possession, here comes another one. You got to take advantage of it and make it count. And there again, another turnover. The sloppy sequence on both parts right there. I think Coach Starks and Coach Talon want to get these girls settled down because that was just a back and forth sequence right there where Heritage should have scored, but they weren't able to capitalize on that. And we see number 22 at the line. Of course, that is Lauren Gravett, the leading scorer for the Lady Raiders, coming in to tonight's game, averaging 14.5 points per contest.
.5:15, still anybody's ball game. Again, Warwick won the game earlier this year. But like in basketball, you play so many games, it really doesn't mean a whole lot. There's a nice shot right there by our camera crew of the young lady number 22, Lauren Gravett.
Yeah, and you've got to take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves. When you get to the charity stripe, you got to knock them down. You should be hitting at least 70 to 75% of your free throws to really capitalize on that experience. And another steal by the Lady Raiders. They are on the move, folks. Ball going the other way. Let's see if the Lady Hurricanes can take advantage of this.
12-11. 4:45. You want to get more than one opportunity, that's what we're talking about. That's what Heritage needed to get that second chance points by number 21, respectively, for the Hurricanes.
And she did
that was McPlaza.
Yeah, and we talked about her last season, I believe, Greg, just the maturation of being able to get in there and be a presence off the bench on the interior. You know, you got a nice 1-2 punch with Annalisa Goodman, and then you bring McPlaza in off of the bench. I think that's the key to the game tonight for the Lady Hurricanes. And once again, we see Lauren Gravett at the charity stripe. They can't keep giving her these opportunities for free points. She is just dangerous at the line.
You always think about free throws. They're really not that easy to make. And people always make a big deal about them, but they are still several feet away from the basket. It's not like a layup.
Yeah. Well, and there are certain players that just have it and players that don't have it. And sometimes it can be a mental thing. Like I remember Shaq for so many years just couldn't hit free throws no matter how hard he practiced.
But he did very well in practice, but he couldn't do it during the
game.
game.
Once the game started, that mental block just reared its ugly head.
A little over 4 minutes. Our doubleheader extravaganza. We have a lot of fun, the Van crew does, on nnpstv.com. At Greg Bick on Twitter, at GJB Radio, at Sports Highlight.
I'm telling you, folks, at @8 MOZAIK, at Nate Mosaic on Twitter.
And your podcast?
The Kings of Sport podcast. You can check it out with myself and Marcus Vanderberg from Yahoo Sports. Again.
And, of course, in girls basketball, you always see some of the tops. There you go, at Greg Bick, at Sports Highlight, at N8 Mosaic, at HROnlineMall.com. That, whether it's girls or basketball, teamwork. You know, John Wooden, the former great UCLA coach, used to always say how good teamwork was. Sports Highlights on Mondays and the weekends, right there on Cox Cable 47, 5017, nnpstv.com. Our anniversary month this month.
And we'll see if any of these young women can maybe find their way into a future edition of Sports Highlights.
Not new edition, huh?
I don't think we have Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike out here tonight, Greg.
Well, have you ever seen, though, you and I aren't that far apart in age, a guy like James Harden, who he's not a ball hog. It comes across that he is.
Yeah.
And, of course, our YouTube channel in just a moment, that he shoots every time it seems like he gets the ball.
Yeah, it's almost like he wants to be on the YouTube channel, youtube.com, NNPS Telecom.
And type in the keywords, as we tell our good friend Beth Scott, if you type in the names, it'll pop right up.
Absolutely.
On YouTube, and of course live right now on nnpstv.com. Glad you're with us. We're at Warwick High School. It's 14-13. Heritage with the lead with the ball across the timeline. This court's a lot smaller than Woodside and Heritage.
Yeah, definitely a more intimate feel here at Warwick High School. Old school, certainly much older than Woodside or Heritage in terms of when the buildings were constructed.
Yep, Warwick's the oldest school in Newport News. Denby's the second. Menchville's third, then Heritage and Woodside.
But I think that's what adds to the atmosphere when you hear Greg, because it feels like one of those old school
kind of like at Duke,
gyms.
For an ACC.
Yep.
Everybody else got these big, high-speed internet type arenas. They don't. Barely get Wi-Fi in there.
You got to go on the roof with a string can and some wire to get
But have you ever
reception.
seen anything like James Harden? I can't recall. I really can't.
With James Harden, he's doing amazing things. The question is, will that translate to the postseason? Is that sustainable?
Now, one of my favorite players is Westbrook,
Yeah.
who plays for OKC. You didn't see him doing that when he played with Westbrook.
No. Well, we see, and Westbrook during his MVP season when he was going out there putting up triple-doubles almost every other night, it was great, but it didn't translate to a championship.
I mean, think about who they had. Westbrook, Durant, and Harden. That team might win a championship today, but they weren't mature enough then.
If they had stuck together.
Right.
And that's
they all
the
want to
thing.
go separate ways.
Well, that's the thing. When they receive, it's about teamwork. We're seeing it right now on the court with these young women. You can have individual stars, but if they can't work together, again, we see that in Washington with Bradley Beal and John Wall.
And Wall is really hurt now.
Yeah.
He might. There's no guarantee he'll be back next season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough, and the Wizards are struggling.
And so it's not about having a star. Having a star is great, but if you can't work together as a team, you're not going to win in the postseason.
Top of the hour, we're in Newport News, Virginia. Greg Pickaveris, Nate Milton. We're in the second quarter. It's 14-13 Heritage. Warwick with the ball in the white uniforms. Here is number 22, Gravette. They got to pick up their energy a little bit, Nate. Both teams do.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be a situation where, you have to have some sense of urgency right now. The game is very close.
I thought he was going to give me the ball there for a minute.
See if you can hit the ice chill from out here.
Yeah.
But, yeah, both of these teams have to pick up their sense of urgency.
And I think Heritage is. They must have heard you. Set shot is off.
And that's the type of game, that's the type of shot Warwick is looking for, whether it's from Aaron Gravette, Lauren Gravette, or from Singh, as we saw Singh hit the deep jumper earlier. They want to work the exterior, whereas Heritage, I think if Heritage is going to have success, they need to pound it inside because they've got the taller girls, they got the more physical girls. That's where they need to make their moves.
Anybody's ball game is still early on. We mentioned Warwick won the initial meeting. Heritage coached by Lanika Talon, Warwick, Vanessa Starks. Her son played football for Warwick.
Yeah, Lonnie Starks was a heck of a player for the Raider squad.
Looking forward to the boys' game. Warwick finally got their first win in the boys. We'll get into that a little bit later. But one thing about basketball, if you miss a lot of shots, look at NC State the other day.
Yeah.
They scored 24 points in the whole game.
And that's the thing,
It don't matter what level.
you got to get your offense going. You got to get your offense moving.
No shot. Referees are being very proactive here. Officials.
Great job by our officials tonight, keeping things moving.
We got halftime coming up. Great job by the people in the truck. I'm going to give the guys in the truck an A+ tonight so far.
Absolutely.
This is the guys in the truck we're talking about.
Our student and staff crew, but the adult staff, being the mentors to these young people, bringing you this game live tonight, folks. You got to tip your cap to them.
$16-13 Heritage.
And
I mean, Heritage is still letting Warwick in the game if they want.
Well,
the
thing
door's
is,
open, Nate.
If Warwick has a plan, then they can find a way to take the lead. Because right now what we've seen the last couple of trips is Warwick driving the lane without a plan. And you've got to plan your work so you can work your plan. And we're not seeing that right now by the Lady Raiders.
Yep. Plan your work your plan, absolutely, and she just did that. Respectively, number 3, Barnes.
Barnes taking the hoop and the harm, finally getting something going on the inside. And I think that's where Warwick is going to have their best success tonight, is by working the interior of this Warwick Lady Raider offense.
Heritage is up by 5.
And again, another trip for the Warwick Lady Raiders where they didn't take advantage of their opportunities.
And Warwick's got to watch out because Heritage is trying to extend that lead.
Wow. Nice job with the second chance bucket for the Lady Hurricanes.
And just like that, they open up a 7-point lead on their own, and they got Warwick rattled right now.
Yeah, you just saw right there, another turnover, making mistakes. Now the pressure is on as we head to the half. What will the Raiders do to respond?
And when we do games, they become events. They become community events. That's why we always encourage the public to come out to these sporting events. They're not just games, they're community events to support these kids. Nice shot right there by number 42, Hunter.
Hunter is doing a great job with the interior. Scored the last 4 points for the Lady Hurricanes, extending the lead.
That was the pass of the day. Warwick needed that bad. Heritage up by 7 with 15 seconds left.
That was a pocket pass right there. Great
job. It was
job.
like a pool shot.
Great court awareness by the Lady Raiders.
Everybody wants to be on TV tonight.
Hey, well, this is their time. We brought the lights. We brought the cameras. These young women bringing the action out there on the hardwood.
Who's going to have that shine on in the second half?
And the moment is there for the taking. Who's going to step up? That's the question.
Gravette. Set shot. Off. And that's it. We're at halftime with the score. It is the visiting team, Heritage, up by 7, 22-15 over Warwick. Excellent graphic. We'll be back after this. And welcome to our November edition of Sports Highlights. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving tour.
Located at an airport near Filer. And his career home.
Remember, you can prevent this from happening to yourself. Wear a helmet when riding a bike. And also, watch out for cars, but still, remember to wear a helmet.
All right, we're back here at Warwick High School. Heritage is up 22-15 in girls action. Greg Piccaveras along with Nate Milton. We had a chance to interview Coach Norton, one of the assistants for Warwick's wrestling team. Enjoy it. And welcome to our November edition of Sports Highlights. Hope everybody has a great Thanksgiving toward the end of the month. Greg Bicaveras, glad you're with us for our program since February of 1992, airing on TV on Mondays at 7 a.m., 2 p.m., 7 p.m., weekends at 9 a.m. on Cox Cable 47, 517. And for more, log on to nnpstv.com, at Greg Bick on Twitter. Well, we're talking about Newport News, folks. We have a Newport News person here through and through. Michael Norton went to Menchville High School. He's a former head wrestling coach at Warwick High School, the boys soccer coach at Warwick.
Yes.
Mike, good to see you.
Nice meeting you, Greg. Nice
How
seeing
did you
again.
get involved in sports at Menchville?
Well, I came through the Pee Wee system playing football, and 8th grade, my gym teacher was Richard Brooks, the running back coach and longtime coach at Menchville. He saw the potential in me. He used to let me lift weights all the time during PE class to get a little bigger because I was only 100 pounds in 8th grade. And so I stepped onto the JV field at about 124, 125 pounds. Played fullback, running back, linebacker, all that good stuff. And I just stuck with it and hit the weights. I dabbled a little bit into wrestling when I was in high school. Also did pole vault, track, shot put and discus and track and things like that. So I was around with, a lot of good coaches and did all 4 years working, doing sports at work at Menchville.
Right, but you played different sports too
Yes.
at Menchville, like you
Yeah.
said. Talk about some of the coaches that made an influence on you.
Well, Richard Brooks, because he was the running back coach, like I said, so he took an interest in me. Jim Snow, he was the defensive coordinator at the time, tough coach, great guy though. Charlie Netticombe was the head coach. I had some good coaches. Jim Bullock, the line coach, he was a good coach. And even Gary Stevens, the JV coach, and Outlaw, those guys, Jerry, I think it's Outlaw and Jerry Solomon. It's been a while since I thought about these guys, but all these guys were good influence. They really saw the potential in me. I wasn't the biggest guy out there, but they knew that I would bring it, and lay the wood, as they say, to hit people and, play the game the way it's supposed to be played. At least it was played back then.
November's kind of our homecoming show with Thanksgiving and everything. Of course, Mike went to Menchville. I went to Ferguson, of course, and we're trying to keep it here local, as we always do. You talk about the late Coach Snow, folks. A lot of you remember he used to coach Warwick's football team. He was the head coach from 63 to 70. Also, he was the athletic director at Menchville, too. But he really made his name there as a baseball coach,
Oh,
too.
yes. I think he had over 500 victories as a baseball coach and stuff. There was still a plaque at work with his name on it. I saw it one day. It's like, I know him.
Well, talk about your college career.
College career, well, when I was in high school, when I left there, I went to Shipyard Apprentice School, and I was down there for 2 seasons with the football program. Ended up getting injured, my shoulder, and the yard just wasn't for me. It's a great place, but it wasn't what I wanted to do with my life. Growing up, I was always, I could draw in pain and stuff, and my parents always told me, you have art to fall back on. So that's where I went to college, ended up at Christopher Newport College at the time to work on my Bachelor of Arts degree in art, and became an art teacher.
Before we talk about art and your coaching stops, you grew up with Billy Wright. It
Yes.
wasn't the easiest time, as you told me as a kid, it wasn't always easy for you and your family. But did that make you and Billy both appreciate all the grind of what your family had to go through to get food on the table and also to play football? Because he was an excellent, disciplined passing quarterback at Menchville.
Yeah, he threw the ball well. He was a great baseball player too. Yeah, we grew up in sort of a little rough neighborhood, but it just made us tougher.
Yeah.
To go on to play sports like we did and everything. I wouldn't change it for the world. I enjoyed everything I've done so far in my life, and so I wouldn't go back and change anything.
Exactly, folks. You don't always have peaches and cream. Life is always up and down for everybody, no matter where you come from or where you live. And Mike's a good example of persevering. I would say that because you've coached at a lot of different schools. Let's start off every place you've been an assistant and then every place you've been a head coach.
Okay. I first started my coaching career at Ferguson High School in the early 90s to mid-90s with JV. Aaron Brooks, a great quarterback, went to UVA. He was the senior that year, so I got the chance to work with him a little bit. This is all under Tommy Riemann. I happened to be doing long-term sub at Ferguson as an art teacher and saw Tommy, started talking to him, and he brought me in the next year, and they just started everything from there. While I was at Ferguson with JV, I ended up being the offensive coordinator. Michael Vick came through his freshman year, had him for 6 games. We were undefeated. Then we had to bump him up to the varsity, which I knew they were going to take him before long. While I was at Ferguson with Tommy, I ended up coaching linebackers, running backs on the varsity level. And then eventually I got a chance to be the defensive coordinator the last 2 seasons I coached. Well, that's actually at Warwick. Man, I've been everywhere. So that's where I started with assistant coaching there. Then in 1996, when Woodside and Heritage came on board and Ferguson was closing, I had the opportunity to become a teacher at Warwick High School in '96. And that was thanks to Jim White, a former art teacher who's passed away, a great guy. He opted to go to Heritage High School, the brand new school, to be the art teacher there. That opened the door at Warwick because they only had one spot open. And Stan Mayo, the principal at Ferguson, ended up at Warwick. And Tommy was going to Warwick, so that ended up opening the door. It was great. Football got me in the door. So
Right.
I've always been grateful for that.
But you're a full-time art teacher?
Full-time, going on 23 years at Warwick High School.
Talk about the illustration we have here today.
I brought in just one of my works that I do. Being an art teacher, you do everything from drawing to painting, watercolor, all different things. This is a piece that I did in 2014. We actually had a snow day, so we're out playing in the snow. I had my kids, and we're just running around playing, and ended up getting snow on my beard, so I decided to take my phone out, and like kids do, and took a selfie of myself, and decided to do it for an art show out in Hampton. It's a show that Those Who Teach, they put on at Charles H. Taylor. It's open for all teachers at all levels, and I entered that back in 2014 in that show. And it hangs in my house. I love it because it's a nice big drawing. I bring stuff like this in. I'm always showing my students. I've always been one of those teachers that I'll show them what I can do not to impress them, but just to know that I know what I'm talking about when I'm teaching them techniques and so forth in the art.
We'll talk about being an art teacher. To me, Michael, it takes a lot of patience.
Oh, it does, and creativity, because you get kids from all different levels. Some kids that, they just need that elective to graduate, so they're not really interested in art. You try to find that niche that each kid likes. You talk to them, you get, personal with them just to see where they are on things. And I'm very flexible as a teacher. I'll bend an assignment, change it up to fit that student just so they can be successful.
Talk about, you're the boys soccer coach at Warwick. Talk about your team for the upcoming spring. What do you expect?
Last year was a little bit disappointing, but we were a young team. I graduated 5 seniors. So we're looking to do pretty good. We're going to be a pretty solid team. We were solid defensively. Offensively, we didn't score as much, but this year I'm working on that. So I think we're going to be okay. We'll be a little bit more on the junior side, heavy. But we've had some good programs and good soccer going on at Warwick for several years now. When I took over the program, I tried to change the culture because I know Warwick at times had a couple issues where referees would, we're coaching, we're reffing a Warwick game, watch out, these guys, they play rough. Mm-hmm. Well, we play the game like it's supposed to be played now. We play soccer, and it shows. A lot of times we get calls our way now. My guys say yes or no to the refs, only the captains talk to them. So I've changed the mentality of soccer at Warwick. They've had some great teams before I started coaching, don't get me wrong. But I've known when I first took over how the officials sort of treated us a little bit, but I've seen it change over the years. And, I've had officials come up and said, that was a great game. Your guys were wonderful, things like that. One time we stopped at a McDonald's after a game all the way over up in Williamsburg, and they were about to close. We came in. I had the manager thank me how orderly my guys were.
That's nice.
It was very impressive.
Well, you can also draw from your experiences when you were at Menchville. They had a good soccer team.
Yes, they had a good soccer team. Well, the curious thing is I never played soccer.
Right.
Yeah, so it blows people's minds sometimes. But coaching's coaching. I've studied the game. I started coaching when my son came through the ranks when he was younger and helped out and became a head coach on the Little League soccer level and all that on rec soccer. And then it just evolved into high school from there.
Michael Norton's paid his dues primarily in football, wrestling, and soccer. A credit to Warwick High School academics, athletics, and activities. Mike, all the best to you and your family for the rest of the fall.
Thank you, Greg.
Thank you. My pleasure. Michael Norton right there. Went to Menchville High School, Newport News kid through and through. Now the former head wrestling coach at Warwick High School, still an assistant there, and giving back to his community in art and sports both. All right, back here at Warwick High School at Newport News. Hope you enjoyed the nice interview with Coach Norton.
Absolutely. Always great to spotlight the wrestling that's going on here in the high schools. And Warwick, definitely one of the teams to watch. I had the privilege of calling a couple of their matches this year already.
Recently, yeah. Warwick's got a very good wrestling team. All right, Warwick and Heritage. Heritage trying to pick up that momentum
Yep, Heritage
from where they left off.
Heritage ended the half with a strong run. 7 unanswered points. I think Warwick, the halftime break couldn't have come at a better time for them.
Warwick with the ball, and they miss. Out there for Warwick are the Gravette sisters, as well as number 24, Singh, Nate's favorite. Number 12, Randall with the ball. And number 2, Bryant for Warwick. For Heritage, trying to build on that 7-point lead. Goodman, number 14. Number 4, Deloach. Number 3, Barnes. Number 23, Carter. Trinity. And number 10, respectively, Martin for Heritage. Walk the ball going right to left in the white uniforms. That's Singh. And the miss right there by number 12, Randall. Here come the Hurricanes.
Warwick has got to look for more high percentage shots, Greg. They got to run some screens, get Singh open, get Gravette open, and that way they can start to work their way back into this game.
It seems like the kinks happen early, whether it's football, basketball. It takes them almost a quarter to get your feet wet.
Absolutely, and so right now we're seeing Heritage with that momentum. Heritage just wants to continue doing what they're doing and build upon the way they finished the half. Warwick, though, has got to make some changes.
That's number 4, Deloach at the free throw line. Some of the coaches around the district, and remember, there's 5 schools in Newport News, 4 in Hampton, 1 in Gloucester. Heritage, Lanika Talon, Warwick, Vanessa Starks, Menchville, Adrian Webb. We'll see him soon. That's a miss. Woodside, Mike Talon, Bethel, Amber Dorsey, Hampton, Shonda Bailey, Phoebus, Bell, Kicatan, Toomer, and Gloucester O'Neill. We saw Gloucester about a year or so ago in girls basketball. They play 8-minute quarters. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News. Heritage up 23-15. Warwick just trying to get started off better. Let's get things started, right?
Yeah, let's get it started like the Black Eyed Peas said, but that's not the way to get it started, by having a moving violation, having a turnover right there. And now, again, Heritage with the opportunity to continue to pad that lead.
And they have to watch the clock here in the second half. That becomes a factor. Move without the ball, conditioning 12 months out of the year to get to this point.
Nice steal.
And Gravette misses. That was Lauren who missed. Heritage with the ball in the gray. They've won a state championship in the past under Mike Gardner. Warwick's had some great coaches like Bob Worthington coach the women's basketball team.
We saw 2 back-to-back steals by the Lady Raiders, unable to come away with points on either one of them, though. They got to capitalize on these turnovers. When they can force these turnovers, they have to take advantage of them. Got the Lady Raiders going to take some free throws here.
And she makes it. You need that, but you need a lot more to win a game. Congratulations again to the Patriots. What else is new?
Yeah, what else is new? Everything old is new again. Surprising that the Rams weren't able to muster any offense, despite having one of the higher-powered offenses during the regular season.
They looked like they were in awe the whole game. Yeah. They looked like a deer in headlights, and it showed.
Jared Goff reverted back to first-year Jared Goff.
And the Rams played like the old St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, and Todd Gurley, I don't know what's going on with Todd Gurley.
He hasn't been right physically or mentally. Usually when that happens, there's more smoke under fire. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he even got traded in the future.
We could see that happen. That could be a possibility.
That's not the day you want to mess up on.
No.
And a lot of it's McVay's fault, too.
Yeah. If you hold the Patriots to 13 points, you should win that game if you're the other team. Because Tom Brady didn't have a great game.
They played 50-50
Yeah.
and still won. Warwick just trying to get it across the timeline. They're struggling.
Speaking about playing 50-50.
And you got to focus on holding the ball, getting that concentration.
Yeah, we've seen too many turnovers by the Lady Raiders right now.
You know, Coach Nuttycombe and his family watching tonight, former Menchville football coach. Maybe he'll come out of retirement and coach Menchville's football team. Who knows? I doubt it, but
a return to tradition.
Menchville, Denby, both looking for a coach.
Yep. It's going to be.
Are you interested, Nate?
I might have to put in my application, Greg.
Can you imagine you coach Denby, I coach Menchville?
I'm telling you, though, actually, I preferred being on this side of the camera because I'm undefeated here. Now, if I actually go out there and coach, that might not be the case.
5:05 left in the third quarter. Very warm February, almost like balmy Miami-like weather.
Yep.
Kind of odd for February. I mean, a few weeks ago, it was freezing outside. You had to have the water dripping on the pipe so it wouldn't burst.
Yep.
Now it's almost like you need the air conditioner on in the car.
And that's Virginia weather, man. Like we will go from 20 degrees one week to 40 or 50 degrees the next week, and it's still not over. Like I'm pretty sure by the time this winter is all said and done, we'll have some snow on the ground.
I hope not. Nice shot there by number 42, respectively, Hunter. Heritage, even though they're only up by 7, they seem like they're in total control.
Yep, on offense and defense,
and they're hustling.
That's that sense of urgency we were talking about. They're getting in the passing lanes. They're trapping. They're rotating on defense. They're moving the ball on offense. Right now, Heritage just has the energy. The miss by Gravette. She has not been in sync since the first quarter, Greg. But another trip to the free throw line for the Lady Raiders. See if they can cut into this lead.
And back there again. Looks like number 12. Trying to get a side of her roster there. Trinity. Singh. The Gravettes. As well as number 10 for Warwick out there respectively. That's right. Warwick likes that matchup zone 2-3 Syracuse bump there. Now, Syracuse is known for their zone in men's basketball to Jim Boeheim.
And we'll see.
He's been the head coach there since the mid-'70s. Unbelievable.
Which is unbelievable, which is just a testament.
And still pretty fresh.
To
Has
the
his
program.
son on the team.
Yep.
He's won a national championship with Carmelo. Have we seen the last of Carmelo?
I think
as a star?
Well, I think we've seen the last of Carmelo as a star. The question is, does Carmelo know that? Because I think he can still be valuable as a role player. But does he want to be a role player? You know, and it's not easy. We saw that with Allen Iverson.
He didn't like it at all.
Allen Iverson had trouble adjusting to that role.
And Iverson, hard to believe, he'll be in his mid-40s this year. But he could have played a few more years if he would have come off the bench. He just couldn't do it.
Still one of the greatest athletes to ever come from this area.
Sing. She sings that song again.
Finally getting some offense going now.
Sing likes the baseline. Excellent young lady, excellent role model for the team. 4 minutes left here in the third quarter. The thing about this, you could do the old Dean Smith four corners and stall as much as you want because there's no shot clock. So there's really not a lot of pressure to shoot. You're kind of on your own time.
Yep. The question is, how much pressure is the opposing team going to put on you? And right now, we're starting to see a little bit of a uptick in defensive pressure by the Lady Raiders.
And this is where endurance comes into play, and also mental psyche as well.
Yep, and then a good possession right there in terms of defensively by the Lady Raiders.
24-20 Heritage. Both got to watch fatigue here. Sing again.
Sing starting to heat up, Greg. Brings the Lady Raiders to within 2.
Great shot there by Sing. knocking them home. 24-22. Greg Pickabera, Nate Milton, glad you're with us here at Warwick High School in Newport News. Nate, overall, both teams, back and forth. Heritage has been under control, but you can't get sloppy and you can't get lackadaisical.
Yeah, well, especially when you're on the road, because that is the thing.
Tough to win on the road.
There we see a great shot of Heritage with Coach Talon talking to these young women, trying to get them focused. And that's the thing. They had a lot of momentum heading into the half. But slowly but surely, we've seen Warwick claw and fight their way back into this game. And you got to give a lot of credit to Coach Starks and what she's instilled in these young women.
It's almost like sometimes you play with your phone charged at 5%. Sometimes you play at 95%. So really, you both have to stay focused and energized.
Yep, and let me tell you, folks know that if your phone is running out of juice, that's one of the worst feelings in this modern day society. And so on the basketball court, if your team is running low on energy and you can feel the other team, they're getting momentum, they're getting ahead of steam, that's a bad place to be.
And a good place to be is at Warwick High School in Newport News. Again, the wonderful 5 high schools in Newport News, 4 in Hampton, 1 in Gloucester. Hard to believe the school year is halfway over, almost over. A few more months, it'll be over in June. Shout out to all the great elementary school kids watching tonight, because they'll be the future out here. Middle school students and high school. You really start the fundamentals in elementary school.
Yeah, it's about that process, and we've seen it through so many people. And there we see at the line, number 22, Lauren Gravette, the lead scorer for the Warwick Lady Raiders. Not had the best shooting night from the floor, but she's making up for it at the free throw line.
Yeah, Lauren Gravette, number 22, Aaron, number 30. And sometimes it's good about having your sister. You can pick each other's confidence up.
Yeah.
And right now we're tied. It's anybody's ball game, folks. Lock it in here on the tube. NNPS TV, Cox Cable 47.
Wow.
Nice shot right there by Heritage. Wearing a long sleeve shirt.
Yeah, Deloach just ran through the lane like she was going through the tunnel at 1 in the afternoon. No traffic, clear sailing. Great job by Deloach.
She's got the connection tonight.
Like she had the easy pass on that basket, Greg.
She didn't get told. You gotta watch those passes. When you start getting tired, you throw passes like that, and you give the vision of the defense.
It's all about accurate passing, ball movement, like you said earlier, Greg. Maintaining possession.
Travel. We're at Warwick High School in Newport News. Beautiful court. We did the wrestling match here in January. Hope you enjoyed that. Menchville, Matthews, and Warwick. We got Heritage and Warwick girls and boys tonight. Crew list coming up in the fourth quarter. 26-24 in favor of Heritage, up by 2. At the free throw line, number 24. For Heritage, this is Riddick. Not Riddick Bowe.
Not Riddick Bowe. Not the Chronicles of Riddick starring Vin Diesel. But Riddick is trying to extend this small margin for the Lady Hurricanes. Now up by 4.
And Warwick's going to watch that lead climb here. Just when they're trying to deadlock the game, Heritage comes right back with that pressure defense. Raiders with the ball. Both teams very proactive. You want to try to get a steal if you can. Try to create a turnover. Outside jumper is good. Off balance by number 10 for Warwick. And that was right. She was right on the money.
I was going to say she picked the right time to knock that down.
Sing with the rebound to Gravette.
Warwick trailing by 1, Greg, with the opportunity to take the lead on this possession.
And no rebound there. The Canes will get it with a little over 1+ here left in the third. Nice rebound by the Hurricanes.
Second chance shot opportunities. That's what you always want to get.
Like that one. Off. Sing. Out to Lauren Gravette, respectively. Great teamwork, great sportsmanship by all these girls. For more, log on to nnpstv.com as well.
Timeout by Coach Starks, trying to get the girls centered, trailing by 1 at home. It's anybody's game right now. There we see a look at the Heritage sideline. Coach Talon getting her girls motivated for this final minute of the period.
And then one more quarter after that. Heritage up by 1 point. Officials again, Mark Brown, David Gary, Kelly Miles. And now you're trying to get yourself situated for postseason as well if you can. But it's not easy making the regionals anymore. No. The way that districts all realigned in regionals and state, it's really just a hodgepodge of anything.
Yeah, and both of these teams are kind of middle of the pack. They're just outside of that top echelon of teams, and so they need every win they can get in order to solidify their position for the postseason.
Got the former CNU women's basketball coach in attendance tonight. Now coaching at Stratford.
Warwick with the ball now. Trying to take the lead on this possession. I'd look for Singh coming off a screen if I'm the Lady Raiders.
Final minute, third quarter.
Good job
Warwick with the ball.
Good job by Heritage rotating on defense.
Outside jumper off. Heritage gets the big boards. Here comes the fast break. The Tony St. Vincent. It's good. We get it in the girls' game first. The fast break, Tony St. Vincent shot.
Riddick on the run with the fast break of the game, Greg.
And a travel. With 13 seconds left. Tony St. Vincent's fast break continues.
Here we go on the replay.
This is to you, Tony, from St. Vincent's.
A fast break to make Tony proud. And again, it starts with defense, which leads to the break. Riddick wide open for that, takes it to the hole.
Great replay.
Heritage up by 3.
That was Jayla Riddick, respectively. Less than a second left. Anybody's ball game here in the fourth quarter. Don't go nowhere. We'll have a break in between the girls and the boys game. 1 quarter left. And that's it. We played 3, 1 more left. We're at Warwick High School where Heritage is winning so far in the third quarter, 29-26. Stay tuned.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a scientist. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer.
Our younger students have the right idea. Today's leading careers are involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. Newport News Public Schools has embarked on an aggressive STEM education initiative that prepares students to take full advantage of STEM opportunities in higher education and career fields. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
We are back at Warwick High School. The score, the visiting Heritage Hurricanes 29, the defending home team, the Warwick Lady Raiders 26. This is the money quarter, folks. This is what it all comes down to. Been a nip and tuck game all the way through tonight. We'll see which team has what it takes to pull away. And there you see it, folks. Rising 11th graders, if you're interested in TV production, call Telecom for more information or to schedule a tour. 757-591-4687. Again, 591-4687, extension 0, if you want to learn more about TV production. Be in front of the camera, behind the camera, learn the ins and outs. And I guarantee you, folks, if you're a rising 11th grader, this course is invaluable if you're even remotely interested in getting into TV.
29-26. And a nice give and go. Heritage always off to a good start. And that was Goodman.
Annalisa Goodman, who I think could be a valuable weapon for this team. She's just got to be more proactive. Like, we haven't really seen a whole lot of her tonight. And there she goes. She gets the rebound. She could be the secret weapon here in the fourth quarter to put this game away for the Lady Canes. That was Carter trying to draw the call. Refs letting them play. You got to like the officiating crew tonight. Wow.
Here comes Heritage.
Goodman's got to run to the middle of that lane, establish position in the post, and they can work everything off of her.
.650 left in the fourth quarter. Gravette walking the white. Singh was going to shoot, but she decided not to. Got to be proactive now. Final quarter. The heat is on. Off the glass, no good. Here come the Hurricanes. Fast break, no good. Follow up, off. But they get their second and third and fourth chances, and they make it by who else? Goodman.
5 opportunities.
And that's been the difference tonight.
That hustle, that extra drive right there. And there you see Annalise Goodman.
And Warwick won the earlier meeting. That just shows you it doesn't mean anything. It's almost like the Patriots beating the Dolphins at home. When they go on the road, you know, the Dolphins usually win.
But the thing is, the margin of error is not that great between these two teams.
No,
they're very evenly matched. Both teams are, like we said, kind of middle of the road, trying to find out their way.
But you see some fatigue is starting to play in. You got to have, like we said in some of our keys, that bench depth support. You can't rely just on 5.
Yeah, and there you see number 14, Annalise Goodman. She had a lot of time on the bench in that third quarter, so she's fresh. You got some fresh legs coming out here. I need to see big things from her. I need to see her attacking the glass, playing defense, and working hard on the post on offense. And I think if she does those 3 things, Heritage will walk away with the win tonight.
.33-26, Heritage in control. Just when Warwick's starting to make a move, Heritage answers back on second and third chance opportunities. Kind of like what, nice outside jumper. A 3. Double-digit lead for the Hurricanes on the road. Difficult to win on the road, too.
Carter out there looking like Coach Carter. Extending the lead for the Lady Canes.
Nice shot there by the Raiders. That was number 12, Trinity.
Good job by Trinity. And also nice job on the pass by number 22, Lauren Gravette.
And Warwick needs to create some steals like this. Here's Gravette. Throws it to her sister, Erin. Back to Lauren. They can't play keep away now. They got to be proactive. Good block there by the Canes. They get the ball. Game getting a little physical here. Only 5 minutes left. Greg Pickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. All right, want to thank our great crew on hand tonight. Our executive producer, Michelle Price. Our coordinating producer of tonight's game, Ray Price, been with us since '92. Also the producer of sports highlights in the halftime feature. Our director doing a great job as usual, Bill Barlow. Our engineer, Greg Lesko. And Carl Daniels. Nate, take it away.
All right, want to give a shout out to our student crew tonight. We got Ryan Mullen, Michael McClellan, Derek Miracle, Pedro Leon, Josh Falsagon, Joshua Stuck, a.k.a. Lil Eli. Brandon Hedgepeth. Brandon Nault. Ian Tyson Odette. Xavier Bates. David Embry. Xavier Davis. Trayon Mobley. Sierra Hendricks. And Colin Biggie Smalls. Great job by our student crew tonight. And
Yeah, for more, log on to nnpstv.com. I know Coach Radford for Heritage telling all his friends and family to watch on TV and online tonight.
And again, these are 11th and 12th graders, folks, bringing you this game. There are some colleges that are not putting out productions of this caliber. So, again, you got to tip your cap to the adult staff, but most importantly, the student crew for bringing you these games live tonight.
Absolutely. Good weather tonight compared to where we were at Denby and Woodside. It was winter there. It's like spring here. Matter of a few days, like Nate said, give it a few hours, weather will change.
Yep.
And we're going to see in the boys' game later on, Radford, who've had on Sports Highlights, the coach of Heritage, and Keith Stagg for Warwick boys. And Stagg, of course, coached the apprentice team as well. Back. Team finally got that big win this year. Nice shot by number 23, respectively. And that's for Heritage, the Hurricanes. That's Trinity.
Free throws very important right now. That could be the difference for Heritage as they try to extend this lead here in the final period.
We're in Newport News at Warwick High School. 4:29 left. Heritage just trying to pound and rebound here. Warwick's got to be proactive with the ball going right to left in the white uniforms. Both teams working the ball around very well. Great teamwork and sportsmanship. But somebody's got to step up here in the final few moments.
Yeah, and there we see Annalise Goodman with the rebound.
And the Tony fast break from St. Vincent's did not work that time. It's rare that you see the Tony fast break work. It's almost random.
Yeah, well, and then there you saw a heads-up play by Goodman. She got the rebound and looked down the court to Riddick. Unfortunately, Riddick was not able to convert on that fast break, but a heads-up play right there by Annalisa Goodman.
37-28. See the work bench right there, respectively. Looking forward to the boys' game coming up. We'll have a brief intermission in between games, as Nate and I can catch our breath.
Trying to catch our breath and get ready for the second part of our doubleheader. An exciting men's game this evening.
Our feature presentation in prime time tonight. Warwick High School in Newport News is where we're at tonight. Live on Cox Cable 47, 517, nnpstv.com.
Absolutely bringing this game to you, folks. And again, you're watching it live on Cox 47, Verizon, Fios, and of course, nnpstv.com. From Boston to Boise, Fargo to Fresno, Anchorage to Atlanta, and all points in between. Thanks for checking us out, folks. And I also want to send a shout-out, Greg, to our men and women in uniform who might be watching this evening. Thank you for your service and for doing what you do, because that allows us the freedom to do what we do.
Watching on nnpstv.com on the homepage. Also want to thank Satrina and Chris and Beth as well for all the work they do at the office. Just under 4 minutes. Of course, in girls Division I basketball, they play 10-minute quarters.
Yeah, and it's a marked difference. And so
just 2 minutes more.
Yeah, and that 2 minutes is important.
Per quarter, that is.
Because it's, again, you have to have that conditioning. You got to be ready to run for 40 minutes.
Here comes Heritage. They can take their time and limit a little bit. They're up by 9, under 4, coached by Lanika Talon. Trying to revenge a loss to Warwick earlier this year in the girls' play. try to get a win on the road, get their confidence up as we approach March Madness.
That's the thing, right?
Of course,
now.
Connecticut always doing very well, and Notre Dame in women's basketball.
Yeah, UConn is always going to be the favorite regardless of where they're at.
In WNBA, the Mystics, huh?
Yeah, I've been very impressed with what the Mystics have been able to do. I've always been partial to the Sparks because I was a big fan of Lisa Leslie back when she was playing for the Los Angeles Sparks. But, I think the WNBA is kind of getting a bit of a resurgence. I think, for a few years it was kind of forgotten. It was like the second child compared to the NBA. But now it's starting to come back into prominence as more young women are getting into athletics.
37-28, 3:09 left here in the fourth quarter. Girls basketball, then we'll have the boys. Shot is up and it's no good. Here come the Raiders. That's Gravette. Back to her sister, Lauren. Warwick's got to be proactive here, folks. Singh misses, in and out. They needed that one bad.
Yeah. Time might not be on the Lady Raiders side right now, Greg Bigoveris. I think the time to be proactive, the time to have that sense of urgency was at the start of this quarter. But now with the time running out like sands through the hourglass, it might be a little bit too late for the Lady Raiders to defend their home court.
And a miss right there by number 14 for Heritage. Anna Goodman, but she has definitely been one of the players of the game.
Yeah, she's got a lot of potential. I think that she just needs to refine her game a little bit more, but the building blocks are there for one heck of a player. She's got the height. She's got the physical tools. It's just a matter of having that mentality for Goodman to take that next step as a basketball player.
Just refine the tools a little bit, but she is really a hustler. Excellent attitude, desire, confidence, and it rubs off on the other players.
Yeah.
Excellent shot there as well.
If she can develop a consistent go-to move in the post, like Hakeem had the dream shake. All the great centers.
Yeah, just because you're tall like Ralph Sampson doesn't mean you're going to be a dominant player.
Kareem had a sky hook. Like, you got to work on your
nobody was better than Kareem.
Signature move in the post.
But people don't realize how good Kareem was with Milwaukee, though. Some of his best basketball was with Milwaukee. He played for 20 years.
Yep.
And he had some great highlights with the Bucks. It's funny, Kareem saw generations of Celtics. He took on Havlicek, Paul Silas, Don Nelson, JoJo White. Then he took on a whole new generation of Celtics when he was with the Lakers and Bird, Parrish, and McHale.
Yep, and just the Lou Alcindor days to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the all-time greats, the captain for the Los Angeles Lakers. And, again, not just a figure on the court, but being that we are in Black History Month, a figure in the civil rights movement and wanting to make social changes. So
had a chance to meet Kareem 16 years ago. What a gentleman he is.
Definitely a class act on and off the court.
Yep. But he had some of his best basketball with the Bucks. He evolved, though, with the Lakers.
Yeah, and I think he was the perfect fit by the time he got to the Lakers because then, you're starting to bring in guys like Magic and Worthy.
He was bigger than Milwaukee. I mean, he figuratively and literally as well. Just a big presence.
Yep.
He was in L.A., and L.A. needed him. Figuratively, one of the all-time greats. All right, less than 2 minutes. Looks like Heritage will get their win, much-needed win, on the road. 13-point lead. Don't forget, watch it live on nnpstv.com. Tell your friends. Text them, let them know. Boys basketball coming up. Cox Cable 47-5-17. Layup is no good.
It's just a little too late for the Lady Raiders. Not going to be able to catch up to the Heritage Hurricanes. And
they just ran out of gas.
Deloach at the charity stripe. But, yeah, I think the key for me, Greg, when you look at the Heritage Lady Hurricanes, what they did was the defense picked up, and as soon as the defense picked up, we saw the offense pick up as a result of that.
And the free throw is no good. That's one thing, no matter what's the beginning of the season, the summer, you always need to work on your free throws.
Yeah.
And sometimes shoot on your own in the gym.
Well, they tell you that the great players shoot 100 free throws a day, and that's just their warm-up. Then they go shoot 100 more and then 100 more before they leave, because that's got to be second nature.
If you and I did that, we'd need a couch to go with it.
It'd be like Papa Shot at the amusement park.
What did Danny Glover say?
Getting too old for it.
Warwick with the ball in the white uniforms. Fine line difference between the two. We've seen Warwick beat this team earlier, but Heritage has been out focusing them for 32 minutes. Nice shot there by Gravette, but a little bit too late, like Nate Milton has said.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more from Gravette tonight. She's a great player, but I think she allowed herself to get schemed out of the offensive plans in tonight's game. So she's got to be a little bit more proactive. You're the team leader. You're the leading scorer on the team. You got to come out here and try to score more.
And Talon's still calling it a timeout. She's still not happy.
It's coaching.
That's the mark of a great coach, when you're not happy when you're winning.
Yeah. Well, and
it's like Popovich the other night for the Spurs was disappointed that they got a close win.
Well, and there's room to work on and room for improvement for both of these teams. And the great coaches, like you said, like a Popovich in the NBA, or like a Vanessa Starks here with Warwick.
Perfectionist. You want to win. You're never satisfied.
You're never satisfied. You can always do one thing better.
When you start becoming apathetic, that's the bad thing. When you just can't rest on your laurels. And the Patriots are a good example of that. Because, we won a Super Bowl. Well, guess what? They've won a half a dozen now.
Yep.
Don't forget, they also made it to the Super Bowl back in the mid-'80s against the Bears when Ditka got his win. That's when Steve Grogan was the quarterback of the Patriots. But that Patriots team made it to the Super Bowl back in the mid-'80s, too. And with Steve Grogan as the quarterback.
A level of excellence with the Patriots.
There's Starks right there. Of course, her son played for the Raiders. We broadcast his games on TV as well. In football, that is.
Yeah, Lonnie Starks, great player for the Warwick Raiders of the past.
And Heritage pretty much got it on a checkmate here. Heritage in the gray. 52 seconds traveling. That's the thing, whether it's the first quarter or the fourth, you still have to constantly grind and work.
Yeah, Deloach just going into the lane a little bit out of control, left her feet without any place to go. And Warwick's going to have the possession, trying to make something happen these last few seconds.
Set shot is no good. Warwick just firing missiles right now.
Goodman coming up with the rebound there.
Final few seconds left in the game. Heritage going to win it on the road. This series will go 1-1 this year between the two teams. 42-30 Heritage. And Coach Talon will get a win tonight on the road. That's it. Hurricanes win it 42-30 over Warwick. Stay tuned. All right, Heritage wins it 42-30 on the road. Greg Pickaveris with Nate Milton. And like you said, it was a close game, but Heritage wanted a little bit more.
Well, yeah, it was nip and tuck up until about midway through the third quarter. And that's where we saw the defense for the Lady Hurricanes start to pick up. And as their defense got tighter, the score got wider. The offense picked up. We saw a couple fast breaks, a couple of those Tony specials, if you will, Greg Vicaveras, and Heritage came in here and got a big win on the road.
As it gets closer to the end of the season, the urgency picks up.
Yeah, all these games are important as they come towards the end of the season, as they jockey for position for the postseason. So this was a big win for Heritage in the home of the Raiders.
Hurricanes winning on the road. For Nate Milton and Ray Price, I'm Greg Vicaveras. The Heritage Girls beat Warwick 42-30. Stay tuned.